Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hope busts Daphne and Carter in Finn vs. Poppy. This is the ultimate summary of Tuesday, February 4th, 2025's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. The results of the paternity test are presented to Penelope Poppy Nozawa by John Finn Finnegan in today's episode. Hope Logan, meantime, cuts Carter Walton and Daphne Rose off in their tracks. Luna Nozawa's hope for forgiveness. According to the BNB report, Luna Nozawa pours a drink and eats some appetizers at the Spencer estate. Luna grins when she considers whether her mother is aware of her whereabouts. Luna spots an advertisement for one of Tom Starr's shows in an old magazine. Luna will never accept that Tom is actually her biological father. BNB recap, the guilt of Lee Finnegan. Lee Finnegan meets Poppy at Il Giardino. After everything, Poppy reached out, which surprised Lee. Lee is requesting Poppy's pardon. Poppy appears anxious. Lee is informed by Poppy that Luna has gone missing. Lee is furious. Finn calls Poppy on the phone. The nice doctor promptly calls Poppy into his office. It is a demand rather than a request. Lee is told to leave by Poppy. Lee issues another apology for falsely accusing her. Poppy adopts a courageous grin. The confrontation of John Finnegan. According to the Bold and the Beautiful recap, Poppy walks into Finn's hospital office. Poppy is instructed by Finn to lock the door. Poppy explains to Finn that since they are not connected by blood, their actions were actually acceptable. Poppy believes it to be magical. Poppy has a chance to win back Lee's favor, but if Finn persists in his inquiries, it won't happen. How self-centered of you, Poppy. Finn pulls out the test for paternity. Poppy is adamant that Finn cannot be Luna's father. Although he believes he can trust her, Finn says he doesn't regret their night together. Finn accuses Poppy of lying. Finn claims to be Luna's dad. Recap of The Bold and the Beautiful, February 4th, 2025, Tuesday. Hope believes Steffi Forrester Finnegan is planning something in today's episode. Steffi has burned Hope too many times. It won't occur again. Steffi knows what happened to them. Hope declines to be used as a scapegoat by Steffi. Steffi phones Hope's criminal associate, Carter. Zend cuts in. Hope appreciates Zend's dedication to the business. Zend is told by Steffi how valuable he is. After Hope departs, Steffi and Zend talk about the plan. Zend is hopeful that they will soon regain control of the business. Zend has yet to hear specifics of the plan from Steffi. Daphne rests her arm on Carter's shoulder at a different Forrester Creations office. Daphne keeps approaching as Carter inhales the aroma. When Carter tries to discuss business, Daphne responds that they can discuss the specifics later. Carter's chest is touched by Daphne. Why is Daphne at Forrester Creations? Carter asks. There is just one explanation, according to Daphne, but it is a secret. Daphne wears two separate scents. Carter should choose which fragrance to release first, according to Daphne. Carter is now hers, Daphne continues. Hope enters as Carter sniffs Daphne's neck. It's not until Hope eventually makes her announcement that Carter even notices. Carter is exactly where Daphne Rose wants him to be. Spoilers for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Daphne's plans for Carter will go exactly as Steffi desires. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Daphne Rose supports Broke Logan. Daphne Rose is moving quickly to fulfill her goal, to destroy Hope Logan's heart and woo Carter Walton. Carter is by himself in Eric Forrester's office, and Daphne investigates every possibility. As Steffi Forrester Finnegan had suspected, she can see that Carter is an easy target. After all, Carter is a man who is prone to falling for women. He suddenly fell in love with Hope. He hardly knew either Zoe Buckingham or her sister Paris Buckingham, whom he almost married. Before anyone could blink, he fell in love with Quinn Fuller Forrester, so naturally, he is ready for Daphne. But is there any chance that Carter's affection for Hope is genuine and that he can withstand Daphne's strangely powerful charms? Is there more going on than meets the eye if he does betray Hope? Does the nose actually know? B&B spoilers. Everyone at Forrester seems to enter a trance whenever Daphne is even present in the premises. As everyone appears to be enthralled by this amazing scent, strange music starts to play in the background. Daphne couldn't be that skillful, can she? Maybe Daphne's scent has a mystical quality that makes people behave strangely. It would undoubtedly explain Steffi's strong sense of control over everything. Is Steffi's secret weapon a perfume with superpowers? Is Steffi aware that she's playing with fire as well? The last time she meddled in Hope's romantic life, things did not work out well for her. What gives her hope that this year's interference will proceed more smoothly? But perhaps this is what Hope needs. This might be the ideal moment to permanently bring Thomas and Douglas Forrester back to upend Hope's life and lives at Forrester Creations if she believes Carter has betrayed her. Bill gets into trouble after Finn's paternity match. John Finn Finnegan, Maggie Larkin, and Bill Spencer on February 4, 2025. Despite Finn discovering he is his cousin's biological father on Bold and the Beautiful, Bill Spencer continues to cause confusion for many CBS viewers. What is the publishing tycoon doing at his home with Luna Nozawa? So far, it seems that by keeping this houseguest locked in his fortress, he stands to lose everything and gain nothing. Fans are confused by this, and many believe Bill is hiding something. Brave and lovely, Finn takes the second paternity test with the hope of making a mistake. Before conducting the paternity test, Finn had a conversation with Poppy Nozawa on Bold and the Beautiful. At this point, she informs Finn that Luna Nozawa cannot possibly be his daughter. Finn is aware that Poppy lied based on the results of the paternity test. He chooses to retake the test in the hopes that it was incorrect, because he is so shocked. However, it appears that it wasn't. Luna Nozawa, Finn, John Finnegan, Bold and the Beautiful, CBS. When Finn invited Poppy to his office to confront her, fans of Bold and the Beautiful were informed of the second test results. Thus, there was no opportunity for flexibility in this case. B&B, having been there, Bill Spencer has done that. Fans of Bold and the Beautiful are unable to comprehend Bill Spencer's actions. However, they do notice similarities to his previous behavior. When speaking with Luna, Bill's facial expressions are restricted. He rarely gives a smile or changes the tone of his words. Bill is difficult to read these days, as seen by his actions when he conned Sheila Carter. Like he does now, he choked out words of affection to his other deadly houseguest. Luna Nozawa and Bill Spencer, Bold and the Beautiful. Bill romanced her, with the exception of Sheila. He and Luna have a bond more akin to that of a father and daughter. Bill deceived Sheila by feigning concern for her. However, he took this action in order to obtain a confession that would permanently imprison her. Bill now acts in the same way toward Luna. However, she has already admitted her wrongdoing. What is he doing, then? Bold and the Beautiful, what role does Bill play if Finn is the father? There were enough clues in Bold and the Beautiful that Finn would end up fathering a daughter in her 20s. However, before Finn found out, several fans believed that Bill Spencer knew something that no one else did. Many believed that Bill Spencer was aware of his paternity. According to some admirers, Bill conducted a covert paternity test on himself. Some people believed he might need to see for himself after he was tricked by the phony one Luna put. The Beautiful and Brave, Finn by John Finnegan. However, Finn's paternity now appears to be clear. However, when Tom Starr's paternity test results came back negative for a match, Finn told Poppy something. He recommended that she get the test done again because it was a false negative. Therefore, some ideas on how this could occur surfaced online for the ardent supporters who still believe Bill Spencer could be Luna Nozawa's biological father. B&B, Blood on Tour by Luna Nozawa. Bold and the Beautiful frequently deviates from the way reality operates. They frequently exaggerate things to make them suit the plot. Consider the same disgusting blood that Lee Finnegan used to determine Jack Finnegan's potential paternity. Finn is currently using it for a paternity test. Some BNB fans believe that when they performed her test, the blood may have been contaminated by Jack's DNA. Additionally, Finn's biological father is Jack. Once Finn and everyone else's life are destroyed, Bold and the Beautiful may use this as an excuse, even though it may not even be scientifically feasible in the real world. Some critics of Bold and the Beautiful speculate that a simple memo from the test's manufacturer may result in Finn becoming the father of his errant cousin after the tsunami of harm strikes Finn and his family. They could alert the personnel to the flaws in the paternity test batch that was brought to the hospital. Perhaps they generate a lot of erroneous findings. Thus, some Bold and the Beautiful viewers are unwilling to accept the idea that Bill Spencer is aware that he is Luna's father, even yet he continues to act as the loving host to his house guest. So, some fans will probably continue to believe that Bill Spencer is the long-lost father until his secret objective with Luna Nozawa is revealed. Naturally, though, following Finn's existence on the CBS serial opera has suffered significant harm. Romy Park protects Poppies and identifies the character's only true love. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Romy Park felt compelled to defend Poppy in her Instagram stories because she has been receiving a lot of negative feedback regarding her character on social media. Here is what Park had to say about her character's one true love, which she also disclosed as part of her explanation. The B&B actress first addressed a fan's inquiry regarding Poppy's behavior with John Finnegan and all of the other guys she had sex with. Romy Park shared her opinions when asked what that stated about her character. Poppy, in Park's opinion, is someone who gets swept up in the present and doesn't consider the repercussions right away. Despite the fact that people are frequently harmed as a result, Park said that Poppy doesn't deliberately want to damage people. She is not malevolent. Her heart is good. She makes bad decisions that could be construed as selfish since she thinks with her heart rather than her mind. However, I don't think she has self-centered objectives, Park emphasized. According to Park's evaluation and forecasts, Poppy might be dealing with some old trauma that is causing these poor decisions. Like a child who is afraid, Poppy has a tendency to hide and lie when she finds herself in a tight spot. Park asserted that Poppy is aware that the night she gave in to temptation with Finn was never appropriate. However, Poppy does not want to believe it was anything other than that and believes the connection they shared at that time was beautiful. Park suggested that because Poppy doesn't have many joyful memories, her character should hold on to any times when she felt like she belonged, like she did with Finn. But Romy Park also implied that Poppy's true love isn't any of the men she's met throughout the years, including Finn and Bill Spencer. That place in her mother's heart has been won by Luna Nozawa. Park remarked, Poppy's daughter is her first and true love. The fact that Luna doesn't return her affection makes it heartbreaking. Luna is Poppy's universe, thus she has really lost everything. Although she may not have been the perfect mother, her heart was always in the right place. Stay back for updates on the fallout of the Daddy Finn saga, as spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Poppy may have to cope with some animosity once the news about Luna's father gets out. A couple's crisis between Steffi and Finn over Luna. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Tanner Novlan recently discussed Steffi Forrester's response to Luna Nozawa's second chance, or at least the prospect of one. Let's examine what Novlan warned us weekly on Finn and Steffi's impending serious couple crisis. Novlan began by pointing out how much Finn loves Kelly Spencer, Hayes Forrester Finnegan, and Steffi. Because Finn grew up wondering about his biological mother, who turned out to be Sheila Sharp, the B&B singer believes that his love for his family is even greater as a result of his past problems. Finn has to deal with the trauma of this prohibited night with Aunt Poppy Nozawa. Tanner Novlan claims that Finn's difficult past is driving him to overcome those challenges and improve his family's status. Of course, Finn's intentions might be derailed by the revelation that Luna is his daughter. Novlan made a suggestion that Finn felt somewhat accountable for Luna's issues and wished he could have guided her in a more constructive direction. Since Poppy has concealed Luna's paternity for so long, Finn has little control over it, but he still wishes things had turned out differently. Nevertheless, Novlan noted that protecting this family that he's created is the most important thing in his life. To put it another way, there will be internal conflict between Finn's desire to protect the family he has created with Steffi, Kelly, and Hayes and his desire to support Luna. Tanner Novlan seemed to imply that Steffi would reach a breaking point, even if she and Finn had always managed to overcome the challenges thus far. With all the external stressors that always occur, the B&B actor posited that even in a strong marriage like Steffi and Finn's, there is the question of how long you stay by someone's side. Novlan added that although Finn is inclined to offer individuals second opportunities, he is still cognizant of the fact that Luna attempted to kill Steffi. The difficulty now lies in juggling the drama surrounding the new daughter with Finn's desire to maintain Steffi, Hayes, and Finn in the secure haven he has created for them. He is still aware of Luna's problems. We all know Steffi will draw a firm line in the sand, so it will be interesting to watch how he handles it, Novlan remarked. We'll provide you with additional predictions for Finn's upcoming chapter and updates on his tumultuous relationship with Steffi, because spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that he will undoubtedly have a lot to sort out. Hope had never anticipated finding something so startling, but here she was, standing in the doorway, gasping for air as she absorbed the scene. They hadn't even noticed her there since Carter and Daphne were engrossed in a moment that was so personal and unquestionably emotional. Their intertwined figures were shadowed by the room's low illumination, their bodies squeezed together such that it was obvious what had just, or was about to, occurred. Hope experienced a sudden wave of disappointment, rage, and incredulity. Although she had a hunch that something was up with Carter, that he had been distracted, she hadn't anticipated this. Not with Daphne. Carter was not the only person enthralled by Daphne, who had slithered into their lives with an air of mystery and seduction. She was obviously digging her claws into him now, and Hope could tell he was getting close by the way Carter was staring at her. Too profound. What on earth is happening here? Hope's voice pierced the atmosphere like a keen, unforgiving blade. Carter's face was flushed as they jolted apart, and Daphne, who was always calm, just grinned as she straightened her clothes. Carter parted his lips, but nothing came out. Daphne just tilted her head, as though she had been anticipating this all along, while Peter appeared guilty, caught in an inexplicable moment. Staring at Carter with daggers, Hope folded her arms. "I trusted you," she remarked in a stern but shaky voice. "And you've been acting like this?" Carter started. "It's not what you think," but Hope wasn't in the mood for justifications. "Oh, really?" she yelled. "Because it appears to be precisely what I believe it to be." "And you?" Her accusing gaze shifted to Daphne. "What's wrong with you? You appear without warning, enchant men, and leave nothing but devastation in your wake." Daphne laughed quietly, amused. She purred, "Oh, Hope. Very dramatic. You behave as though Carter was coerced into doing this. He is an adult. He made his own decisions." Hoping, praying, that Carter would stand up for himself, that he would at least try to put this right, Hope turned back to him. However, he said nothing. He was down. Daphne had triumphed. Finn's world was collapsing just as spectacularly across town at the same time. Finn stood over Poppy, his eyes burning with emotion, while she sat on the couch with her hands folded in her lap and her heart pounding. The truth, which she had been hiding for years and prayed he would never find out, had just been presented to her by him. However, hiding was no longer an option. No more justifications. Finn commanded, his voice tense with rage, "Say it. Poppy, say the words." Her eyes filled with tears, but she resisted letting them go. She was certain that it was the correct thing to do, so she had kept this a secret for a long time. But now that it was public knowledge, she recognized the harm she had done. "Yes," she muttered at last. "You are the father of Luna." Finn staggered back as though he had been hit by the words, which hovered between them like a freshly detonated bomb. Since he received the DNA results, he had known in his heart. But in a way that nothing else had, hearing her confess it, made it true. "Why?" His voice cracked. "What made you tell me lies? You took this from me, but why?" Poppy's lip quivered as she shook her head. "Finn, I was attempting to keep you safe." I was attempting to keep her safe. What will you protect me from? Finn's voice rose as he demanded. Being acquainted with my own daughter? From existing in her life? You denied me the opportunity to parent her. Are you aware of what that means? Poppy took a deep breath. I believed I was acting appropriately. I thought, she let out a trembling breath. This is how I thought it would be better. Finn shook his head and laughed bitterly. Poppy, better for whom? For you? Because it wasn't better for me at all. Furthermore, it was clearly not better for Luna. Trying to take it all in, he looked aside and ran a hand through his hair. In an instant, his entire existence had altered. His daughter was born. He was unaware that he had a daughter. And that had been taken from him by Poppy, whom he had once trusted. Poppy's voice was small and weak as she wiped away her eyes. I am aware that you currently despise me. I don't blame you either. However, Finn, please don't exclude Luna because to me. Finn's jaw tightened as he turned around. He responded angrily, I could never shut her out. I own her. And whether you like it or not, I will be a part of her life. Knowing there was nothing she could say to change this, Poppy nodded. The damage was already done. Hope was walking away from Carter and Daphne with a burning sense of betrayal in her breast as Finn stormed out, ready to reclaim his place in Luna's life. That night, 2 different storms had been let loose, and neither was nearly finished. Hope had seemed so certain. She'd felt the change in Carter, she'd seen the indications, and she'd told herself it was Daphne. When Hope went looking for answers, she was sure she was about to be betrayed in a scandalous way because of the stolen looks and the delicate touches. However, rather than spotting Carter in a precarious situation, she ended up standing by herself, with her charges unsupported by evidence. Before Hope could corner her, Daphne had been one step ahead and slipped away, leaving only uncertainty and annoyance in her wake. Perhaps she had misjudged the circumstances. Perhaps Carter and Daphne weren't actually involved. Or perhaps Daphne was simply that adept at hiding her identity. Daphne, meanwhile, had already moved on and was now focusing her easy charm on Zend across town. The chemistry was evident as soon as their eyes met. Ever the slick talker, Zend was captivated by Daphne's self-assurance and her capacity to make every exchange seem like a secret intended only for him. Her perfume was intoxicating, and her smile was just naughty enough to make him want more as she leaned in slightly. Whirling the stem of her wine glass between her fingers, Daphne purred, so tell me, how is it that a man like you is still hunting for the proper woman? Zend shook his head and laughed. He shot back, his eyes resting on her lips, I could ask you the same thing. Daphne tilted her head, as though thinking about the question, then grinned. Oh, she remarked slyly, I never look. I simply locate what I'm looking for. Zend's heart began to race. There was something thrilling, something dangerous about her. Daphne stood out from the many attractive women he had encountered. She wasn't merely teasing. He sensed she never lost the game she was playing. While Hope continued to piece things together, she was unaware that she was already 2 steps behind. Before Hope could even regain her breath, Daphne had thrown her off the path and slipped into another seduction with ease. Who would ultimately be played, was the question.